everyone, when I say Golden Age, what pops in your head? Probably ancient Greece, right? Or maybe Rome. But what if I told you that while Europe was, well, kind of stuck in the Dark Ages, a whole other civilization was busy inventing algebra, creating modern medicine, and basically laying the groundwork for the tools we use every single day? That's right. Today we're diving into the incredible and way too often forgotten Islamic Golden Age. So let's get right into it. What exactly was this period? It's a name you might have heard, but what does it actually mean? We hear about these golden ages in history, but for centuries, while one part of the world was struggling, another was having this just unbelievable explosion of ideas and learning. All right, let's break it down. What was the Golden Age? First off, this wasn't just some brief flash in the pan. We're talking about a sustained, powerful burst of intellectual and cultural genius that went on for more than 500 years. And you'll see, the echoes are absolutely still with us today. So, here's the deal. For roughly 6 centuries, from the 8th to the 14th century, the Islamic world was, without a doubt, the planet's epicenter for science, philosophy, medicine, you name it. It stretched all the way from modern-day Spain to India. Think about that. It created this massive interconnected web of ideas and trade that just fueled discovery on a scale the world had never seen before. And you know, this didn't just happen by accident. Not at all. It was engineered. It was built on a very specific, very powerful mission. Go out, find all the world's knowledge, translate it, and then, and this is the key part, make it even better. And right at the heart of this whole thing was the legendary House of Wisdom in Baghdad. Seriously, if you can picture the world's first and greatest think tank, this was it. But it was so much more than that. It wasn't some dusty old library. It was a buzzing, multicultural hub where the best minds, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, it didn't matter, all worked together. Their only goal? The pursuit of knowledge. And the way they did it was just revolutionary. It was like this 3-step engine for genius. Step 1. Gather everything, and I mean everything. Plato, Aristotle, ancient texts from India, from Persia. Scoop it all up. Step 2. Translate it all into one common language, which was Arabic. But step 3 was where the magic happened. They didn't just copy and save the old knowledge. No way. They questioned it, they tested it, and they used it as a springboard for brand new discoveries. Okay, so you can imagine what happened next, right? With a foundation like that, it led to an absolute explosion of innovation. This is where the Golden Age really hits its peak, with breakthroughs that would completely rewrite our understanding of, well, pretty much everything. Just to give you a sense of the scale here, get this. In the city of Baghdad alone, there were more than 100 major libraries and bookshops. I mean, at that time in Europe, a single book in a monastery was this priceless, rare artifact. Baghdad had a booming industry of knowledge. The whole city was just obsessed with learning. And the results? Well, they literally changed the world. Let's do a quick fire round. The entire field of algebra? Yep, created by a scholar named al-khwarizmi. The science of optics, the very principles that make your phone's camera work. That's thanks to Ibn al-Haytham. How about a medical encyclopedia so accurate it was used as the standard textbook in Europe for 600 years? That was Ibn Sina. From engineering and wild mechanical clocks to chemistry, the breakthroughs were just staggering. Let's take astronomy for an example. This really shows the incredible intellectual courage they had. For more than 1,000 years, the accepted truth was that the Earth was the center of everything. Period. But astronomers in the Islamic world, they built these huge observatories, they tracked the stars, and they used actual data to prove that the old model just didn't work. They were challenging ancient, sacred wisdom with cold, hard facts, and in doing so, they paved the way for guys like Copernicus centuries down the road. But, like all great stories, this one has a third act. And like all golden ages, this one couldn't last forever. A perfect storm of internal problems and external threats started to brew, and eventually, it brought this incredible era to a slow, really painful end. You know, it wasn't just one thing. It was more like a slow fracturing. There was political infighting that weakened the empire from the inside. At the same time, you had invasions, including the Crusades, pressing from the outside. But the final, devastating blow, that came in 1258, with the Mongol sack of Baghdad. And they didn't just conquer the city. They utterly destroyed the House of Wisdom. The stories say they threw so many books and manuscripts into the Tigris River that the water literally ran black with ink for days. It was the symbolic and very literal end of an era. But here's the thing. Even though the era ended, its influence, that's a whole other story. The flame of knowledge that was lit during the Golden Age didn't just go out. It spread. And its echoes, well, they're all around us, right now, in our language, our science, our culture. And this might be the biggest takeaway of all. We always talk about the European Renaissance as this great rebirth of classical Greek and Roman knowledge, right? But you have to ask, where did Europe get that knowledge from after the Dark Ages? It came from the Islamic world. It was preserved, translated, and hugely improved by the scholars of the Golden Age. They weren't just a bridge connecting the ancient world to the Renaissance. They were the very foundation the Renaissance was built on. And I'm not just talking about abstract ideas. The legacy is in the stuff you use every day. That algorithm serving you this content, the word algorithm comes from the name of the mathematician al-Khwarizmi. The whole concept of a university that gives out degrees, that has its roots here. The first pharmacies, surgical tools like the scalpel, even your morning cup of coffee, or the guitar, they are all in one way or another gifts from the Islamic Golden Age. And that brings us to one final, really important question. The House of Wisdom was a physical place, and it was destroyed, its knowledge scattered to the winds. Today, in our digital world, we're drowning in information. But we also face our own kinds of threats. So it makes you wonder,